the channel. How do we respond to those who say that JP2's declaration in Ordinatio Sacerdotalis wasn't ex cathedra because he used the words "I declare" instead of "I define"? Right. So what you'll hear some people propose is that he did not use the words "I define." Therefore, it does not meet the definition that Pastor Eternus in Vatican I gives us whenever it gives us the criteria for papal infallibility. But I would say that this is a misunderstanding of Pastor Eternus. It does note that the Pope has to define something, but it does not say he has to use the words "I define." A definition could be explicit. He could say, "I define." He could also define something by saying, "I declare." He could also just simply imply that he is defining it. It could be implicit. How do I know this? Well, there was a group of individuals at Vatican I who tried to say, you know what, we have to have a specific formula to identify these. The Council Fathers rejected that. They did not want to put forward any specific formula because any specific formula would then narrow papal infallibility to probably just two definitions. Well, actually, not even that really. By that time, this was in 1870, you would probably only have maybe one or just a few more papal definitions that would be considered ex cathedra according to just a specific formula, depending on what formula it was. If he has to say "I define," those are very, very rare. So the Council Fathers rejected that idea, and they were content with the Pope just simply needs to define a matter of faith and morals, but he can do that in any way that he wishes to do so. It just has to be manifestly clear that that's the intent. And I would say that that's the intent when he says "I declare." Now, if you say, well, I don't think that that's manifestly clear. All right, well, I think that I would have to then say, all right, well, what are you looking for? You're looking specifically for him to explicitly say "I define." Again, that's rejected by the Council Fathers. They didn't want to give a certain formula, so they didn't think that he had to say those words. So I do think it's manifestly clear. Even if, however, for some reason you reject it, I think you would be wrong, but we could still say his decision there in Ordinatio Sacerdotalis is still definitive because, number one, he says that this is something revealed by God in sacred scripture. And then number two, this is also something definitively put forward by the ordinary and universal magisterium. So the fact that the priesthood is limited to males only is something revealed by God in sacred scripture and confirmed by the ordinary and universal magisterium definitively, at the very least. I think he also added the extra bonus of it being ex cathedra. So that's how I would respond. I think it's unreasonable to say, no, he has to say those words, "I declare," because that's not what the Council Fathers said. And again, if he has to say that, we would then end up limiting papal definitions to just a few of these things, and that's not what the Council Fathers believed. At the very least, Bishop Gasser in his Relatio thought that there were thousands upon thousands of these definitive papal magisteriums, definitive papal interventions, I should say. So I don't see how his words could make sense if we're going to then limit them to the Pope has to say the words "I declare," unless we mean, well, he has to say the words "I declare" from this moment forward. But again, that wasn't what the Council Fathers accepted. Whenever this idea was proposed, it was rejected. So I think what a person is doing at that point by using that standard is they're adding to the standards of Pastor Eternus. They're adding a standard that is just not there. And I don't think that there's a good reason to do so. Okay,